I hope you enjoyed that. Next is an interview with a young writer who dabbles into fiction and non-fiction. He is Uzor Ngoladi. Uzor holds a master's degree in educational psychology from University of Pt.3 and a Bachelor of Arts degree in English from Imo State University. Uzor is a prolific writer who has published 4 books. He joined us to discuss his latest novel titled Toxic Eucharists and his writing experiences. Enjoy this. Thank you, Uzor, for joining us on the Channels Book Club.
Thank you very much.
It's nice to have you here.
Yeah. I'm glad to be here.
Toxic Eucharists. The first thing that caught my attention was the title, Toxic Eucharists. What inspired your book? I have to say that I enjoyed it, reading it.
Thank you very much.
A few controversies I'm going to take you up on. You know, the controversies that made it interesting, I should say. So, why the title, and what made you write this?
Okay, I developed interest in writing at a very early age. My father is a lecturer, and my mother a teacher. So, my father was, as a lecturer after school. I was also in the staff school, at Owerri back then. So after school, I have to go to his office and wait. So I saw a lot of books. Sometimes he also takes me to the school library. I'll go there and wait until any research that he's doing, when he's through with it, we'll go home. And then back at home, he has this very big library bookshelf. So I was used to reading a whole lot of books from childhood. And by the time I was in primary 4, primary 6, I've already started doing some drama sketches. So it started quite early for me. It was very natural because I saw books around me.
You grew up in a world of
in a world of books.
You had no choice.
Yes, I had no choice.
Interesting. And when did you write your first book? And how has it been writing since then?
Okay, my first book, let's say that was in 2010. That's when I was first published. But if you talk about writing, it started from childhood. So my first book was a biography. I realized that I had wanted to do fiction, but because I didn't have that resources, to invest in self-publishing, and because a whole lot of publishers, there was a lot of rejection slip coming up. When you send your manuscript, people are not interested. So I first of all started with biographies, so that I can have some resources to fund my work, go through all the rigors, financial rigors of getting a book together. So I started with a biography, and that was in 2010.
So did you experience a lot of rejections with publishers, or did you just speak generally? Did you have personal experiences with your works being rejected by publishers?
I had a lot of toxic eucharists. In fact, there was
tell us about that.
In fact, there was one publisher that wrote me a very long email, and sometimes most of them, they will even charge money before they read through your manuscript. They charge you. And after reading through it, they'll just send you one mail that when you go through the mail, you become more of your dream. Yes, your self-confidence is shattered. So I had a whole lot of experiences. I remember that this particular one, that the man just told me, look, this thing is not going to fly. It's not going to make it. You better find something else and do. After I've paid him to read through my manuscript. So
it must be a very horrific experience for writers in Nigeria.
Yes, very, very.
Must be.
Because
the publishing industry itself has a lot of challenges.
Yes.
And then when you do get your book out, how many people actually end up buying and so on. Now, to think that the challenging experience starts from getting your book out in the first instance, like you just described now, makes it a bit discouraging for young writers, doesn't it?
Of course. A lot of people are discouraged, but what I just tell them is you have to hold on to your dreams. You don't get your dreams aborted because somebody said something or somebody sent you an email. You don't just abandon what you know that you have been called to do. And again, you have to also seek innovative ways of getting your work out there. Like they say, there are too many roads to the market. It's not only one road. So you have to find a way to push it, and that is what I'm doing. And most times, everything rests on your shoulders. You do the right thing, you do the marketing, you do you do everything yourself. So you have to just push it because there's no structure as far as Nigeria is concerned. The publishing industry here, there's no structure. There's no platform where a group of people will come up and say, let's invest in this work and let's push it. So you do everything yourselves.
Wow, that's tough. It's very tough. Toxic Eucharist.
Yes.
That was the first thing that interested me when I saw the topic of the book. Toxic Eucharist. I said I had to read it, and I really enjoyed reading it. And I had a number of questions for you while I was reading it.
Okay.
Why did you write that book? If I were to be a Catholic and I'm reading that book, I could say to myself, I've seen a lot of this in church. Or I could say to myself, oh, why did they write that about our church? And so on. Give us a bit of background behind the writing of Toxic Eucharist.
Okay, well, no writer writes in a vacuum. I conceived that story in 1997 while I was still an undergraduate. I conceived it because I have a Catholic background, and I passed through a secondary school where our principal was also a Reverend Father. So it was a Catholic school, purely Catholic school. We woke up in the morning, you go for your morning mass and all stuff like that. But having said that, it is purely a work of fiction.
Purely?
Yes, it's purely a work of fiction. But you know that there are some other environmental determinants, that will influence your writing. But basically, it's about what is going on in the church, within the clergy and within the congregation. That people are now paying lip service to religion. Religion is now used as a means of livelihood. People are just there for their selfish reasons. They just want to make money out of religion, and they just want to maybe judge other people, but at the same time, you're still doing the same thing.
I saw that in some of your cards.
Yes.
But so you sound like you were on a mission when you were writing that book.
Okay.
I've asked a lot of writers this question. Are you motivated by changing society, or you just want to make people enjoy themselves and just read a story that is interesting and so on? You sound to me like you were on a mission when you wrote that book. Like you've gone through the Catholic Church and you've seen certain things, and you look at the Nigerian society, you see certain things, and you say, oh, I've got to write a book, that tells what I've seen and that tries to right some wrongs. Was that your experience?
Yes, I just want to correct societal ills. Not only, I'm just using the church as a platform. I'm just expressing myself through the Catholic Church. When I mean the church, I mean Orthodox, Pentecostal, Evangelical. It happens everywhere. Even in the larger society. But the church, I just use the church as a platform to express myself that there must be change. Change is the only thing that is constant. People must begin to live realistic lives. You can't profess something inside the church hall, and when you come to your bedroom, you're professing another. And another subject matter in this book is about leadership. We are told that everything rises and falls on leadership. A leader must be responsible. A leader must live a life that is worthy of emulation. You don't preach something else and you go the other way and you start practicing something else. So it's all about change, actually. It's about change.
Thank you for joining us on the Channels Book Club.
I'm privileged.
Pleasure having you.
Thank you.
I hope you have enjoyed today's show. Don't forget you can join us on any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. My name is Olakunle Kasumo. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.